Hey everyone, give me 1 second. 1 second. Okay, close the door, please. Thank you. Shout out to everybody. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. Everybody hear me? Shout out to everybody. Lord have mercy. Look at this hair. Okay, look at this hair. Look at this hair. Let me let everybody. I don't think I let everybody know I was live. Sorry. I was like, let me just come up here and talk a little bit with you guys. It's been quite the day. Hold up. Going live, not ongoing live, going live. I don't know about you guys, but I am exhausted a little bit. It's just so much going on, you know? And it's crazy to me how all of this situation is definitely has been just a pretty upsetting, sad overall. I don't like it. I don't like it. Let me share with everybody as well. Hold up, y'all. I don't even think I think I posted it on Discord, but I just wanted to tell everybody that I was live. I don't know if one of the mods is in there and can do that for me. That would be awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for those that are hitting the like button. Thank you. Live now. Live now. Okay, cool. Shout out to everybody in the house. Let me see who's in the house. Welcome, welcome everybody. Come on in, come on in. Oh, can you do it? Yeah, and then just tag everybody on Discord, like put the little for everybody. I don't see why not. So I did go live on the topic over the weekend, and we talked a little bit about it. For those that don't know what is going on, if you guys follow the Gannon Stout case, if you're from Colorado, shout out to you. You know, this is a case that definitely I it was such a horrific violent crime of an 11-year-old boy, okay, who was at the time in the care of his stepmother, and his stepmother um, brutally murdered this young boy. Okay, she played it like he was, missing, and then, and it was all before COVID, of course, and luckily justice was served, and this woman is, I believe, I want to say a life sentence, don't quote me, but I believe that is where she's at right now. Okay, it is amazing to me when, and I think that this is a yes, he was it's amazing to me when, how do I say this, like, there are these channels that promote to be the voice for the voiceless, here for justice, awareness. We stand with victims. We do the Lord's work on YouTube, of course. And I was sitting there and I was really reflecting on everybody's responses. I had a response for Zav Girl, right? And then I was sitting there thinking, I was like, you know what? If she could find it in her heart to really just see outside of herself and be like, you know what? Oh yeah, that one too. I just didn't want to say any names out loud. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to say any names out loud other than the one that we've already known, where it kind of trickled down, who started it first. I have a comment about that. But I was truly thinking, I was like, I was doing the Tyra Banks, I was rooting for you type of deal, right? Where you F up, you F up big time. And then you have this like I'm rude, like, all right, she heard everybody's feedback. We all, tugged her hair a little bit. Some of us mollywopped her all over the place. Some of us did something. You know what I'm saying? We did something. I'm aware, but and I'll touch on that some other day, not right now. Um, this is important to me. What has been happening today has been just so crazy to me. This is very important to me. It's sick. And I thought for a minute, I was like, she can redeem herself. She could definitely redeem herself. Yeah, right now, in my opinion, the Gannon Stout situation is takes more importance, and I had to get something off my chest, and I was like really hoping. I was like, all right, these a voice for the victims channels, these channels that say that they are for justice, that they're going to do what's right by the situation. She's going to see through this, right? We've been dragging her, we've been talking about her, we've been doing stuff, we've been trying to shake the table with this girl. No, no. Just because something is legal doesn't mean you have to do it, doesn't mean it's right, right? Just because you can get FOIA or court documents, just because information is sitting in your inbox, or just because there's an opportunity, or just because you're not breaking the law, doesn't mean it's right. I was at the Glares channel, shout out to him, and I saw her in there. And she was saying what she was saying in there, and I kept telling her, like, girl, hit the link. Hit the link, please. And in my mind, in my heart, I was like, this girl's gonna hit the link. She's gonna hit the link. She's gonna there's gonna be a way, because I think that if anybody could have had a really good conversation and kind of gone through the mud of the what happened behind the decision making of those decisions, it would have been the Glare. It would have. No. The Wi-Fi was shaky, I guess. The phones were disconnected, I guess. So when the line was provided for her to, call the phone line, nah. I mean, I heard she's on vacation or something. You know what I'm saying? She's so on vacation that the Wi-Fi is so shaky that you could still respond to the chat, so shaky that you still have some level of service. Like maybe a phone call and whatnot. So shaky that she's a coward. I truly believe that people make mistakes. I really do. Did she break any laws? No. No, she didn't. She didn't. This correct. I'm accurate when I say that she didn't break any laws. But this is an issue about morality. It's what it is. There's an issue of morality here. There's an issue of decision making. There's an issue of what is behind, like, what are motives behind people, the decisions that they make, the content they produce. I have definitely taken a book from this to say, okay, like, just because you have the right to do something, or that you can get away with it, or that you're not breaking laws, I don't have to do it, right? I don't. And it doesn't mean that I should do them. She was very shitty during the Kylie Rodney situation. Girl, I remember when Ryan Upchurch was in that chat. I mean, Lord have mercy. It was like, I think that's what grew her channel. You know what I'm saying? Like, it grew her channel that way, having that situation, speaking about Ikamel, Zaname, Cinema Shogun, all these people that she was speaking and creating conspiracy theories and doing all that. And this is why when I said what I said when I address this issue is, I don't want to grow my channel based off of that kind of subscription, those subscribers, because I'm always going to be expected to be shady as F to provide content for people that don't really want to be there, but to see some crazy ass content like that. Whereas I can really align myself to how other people that don't have to do shit like that do things and actually grow a channel, right? I'm not a fucking simp. Let's be very clear. I am not going to hold streams every day right, about this and tried to, y'all are hypocrites, whatever the streams are. I'm not a simp. I'm not. Um, I've never really been one. I'll call you out if I need to. I believe that you don't need to be, right? And I love what Cinema Shogun said today and in his videos. And oh my God, that man can drag. Okay. He said he takes flights. He will take flights to go. He will take flights to meet you where you're at. Love it. Love it. I want to bring a bigger issue to this because a lot of us are getting lost in the sauce of this argument. Some of you guys are saying whether areas of Gannon's body were blurred or not, whether they're behind a paid wall. Another point of an argument. I don't really. That's not the point for me. The point is that this is an 11-year-old's an 11-year-old child that was brutally murdered. It shouldn't matter. It's autopsy photos, right? I don't care that whether she took the time to blur them out or not. That is not the point here. The point of the matter is that you put them up on Patreon. Whether you charge $3 or $300, you put somebody's child on Patreon who, number one, was a victim of a crime. Gannon's mom couldn't even see whatever photos were posted in court. Some of those juror members will probably have to take some therapy, right? And although you hide yourself under, and this is the shit that really gets to me, I don't care. Y'all can tell me, well, she blurted out. No, I don't give a shit. They're autopsy photos of an 11-year-old boy. It doesn't matter to me if they were blurred out or not. The point is intent here. And even though this is a morality issue, put that aside for a minute because there's no laws here that were broken. So we do have to base our thought processes, how we function, our hearts, our decision making based on where we stand, not only as creators, but as subscribers, right? I don't care that things were blurred. I don't care that anything was oh it was $3 or $300 or $1,000. That's not the point. The point is that you did not have to upload those pictures. To me, that's pretty low. You're no different than the woman that murdered that baby and had a complete disconnection to what she did, intentional, because she wanted to portray that. She didn't give a shit in court about what the fuck was going on. Y'all saw her flipping everybody off every once in a while. She had such a smirk on her face, and she made a mockery. And to me, that's exactly what Zav Girl did. A mockery. You re-victimize that family, whether you believe it or not. And this is why, girl, I was rooting for. I said, listen, I'm not going to root out loud, but hopefully you'll get it together and you'll understand. But no, your ass posts the longest community posts and made this about you and you being a victim and you getting threats and it's about you and you didn't and I didn't and this didn't happen. It does not matter to me whether shit was blurred. That's not the point. The point is that that's someone's baby right there. That is Landon's baby. And they had to speak out in messages. And El Paso County courts realize the egregiousness of this crap that you did. And shout out to everybody from Twitter, because even Twitter, we might not always be on the same page about stuff, but freaking Twitter. Twitter said, we got to speak up. Patreon was contacted. So I don't care about what some simp has to say about she didn't, they didn't. Yo, y'all can sit in the same cafeteria table. Y'all go sit over there. Go over there. Go over there. She might have 92,000, 90,000. I don't give a shit who her audience is. Okay? Because the ones that are here know that we're not simps like that. And we can get called out for shit that we do wrong. We don't get down. Just we're not the same. We're not the same. Jennifer Ray says it doesn't matter what parts of him were shown. He is a child, not her child. And I'm sure his family would not want him displayed to the world this way. It is my understanding, Jennifer, and everybody else, that Landon didn't want her son. That this was like, this is not how we want to remember this boy. If you're a voice for the voiceless, how can you do that when you're re-victimizing victims and families because it's your right and you can? If somebody can answer that, that'd be great. So you can't go to anybody's chat, even in the glare. You were very defensive. It's misinformation. I did it. I don't give a shit. The point is that those pictures should have never been up anywhere. Really. That's it. That's it. Right, right. But blank screen. What do we expect? What do we expect? I don't care. Oh yeah, the Patreon was taken down. Okay, cool. Is that cancel culture? I don't give a shit what you guys call it. I don't support it. And if I can report it, I will. Y'all know. I don't give a shit. You guys can say whatever the hell you want to. It's the truth. Because if that was your baby and that was your child, you would want somebody standing behind you 10 toes down over that. And I told you, and I hope that they come for you civilly. Oh Lord, Lord have mercy. I hope they do. Because you just open wounds that didn't need to be open. Because even though you say it was private, no, my friend, it was on a social media platform, Patreon, and it gets downloaded. It doesn't matter if it's downloaded once or 24 times or 150 times. It's a download. It's a download. But to me, this is no different than the creator who decided to look at Kylie Rodney's body based on some of the screenshots that they got from AWP. What are you doing? What are you guys doing? You don't represent victims at all. You re-victimize victims and you create new victims. And you're okay with that. Like I said, it doesn't matter whether things were blurred or not. It's the intention. Nobody consulted with the family. Shit, nobody consulted with the courts. But you know what? It doesn't matter because apparently that's the argument now. The law is black and white. It doesn't matter if you're a celebrity. You can go ahead and pull some of these records. Go ahead. Is that something I would do? No. Oh, okay. Today is Gannon Stout. Tomorrow it could be another child. It could be your child. My child. Today is Gannon. Tomorrow it could be your child. My child. So where do we draw the line? Blurred or unblurred? Where do we draw the line? $3, $300. Where do we draw the line? Because today is Gannon. But it could be yours. Could be mine. And that's the problem that I have with that. And that's why I said what I said in my post. So somebody, she could sit there and say, "Oh, I would be okay with it. I don't really, care or anything like that." No, 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 no. You're fronting. Stop the cap. Letitia Stout showed no remorse for what she did. Not once. I saw some of the I was like covering, and then I couldn't. I said, "No, I can't. I can't." You would see her, and some of us would make fun of her hair. Some of us would say, we would try to put some humor to this unfortunate situation. And then when you heard the parents cry, it felt like during that trial, especially at the verdict, that they were able to take a little bit of that power, but they took some of that power back. And they said, they're gonna do X, Y, and Z to honor their son. Then here comes this YouTube channel, this A Voice for the Voiceless channel. She decides to rewrite this whole thing. And I love science, because remember, and that's the thing that gets to me about everybody using, and I started examining, well, how am I any different? Because I always have to internalize the things that I do, right? If I ever get to the point, and I thought about this, I said, damn, I love science. I've said it before. But I don't feel like, even as somebody who has a master's degree, I'm able to uh take this into a level in which, I'm not certified in any type of, autopsy photos education or anything, like, you know what I'm saying? Like any of that, to even examine it with my audience, right? If she really wanted this to be about education, there's places you can call to find out, hey, there's bodies that have been donated for these type of services. That child has a name. They You violated that family, that you re-victimized and you violated, and then you post on your community showing no remorse, nothing. Just like Letitia, when she committed that crime, that's how I see it. You're no different. You're no different. Take a step back and see, wow, yeah, that was pretty cold. I shouldn't have done that. That was pretty cold. I think that it's all about intent, at the end of the day, you know? That's all. I have a feeling that you knew exactly the kind of reaction that you were going to get. No, I know you knew exactly the kind of reaction that you were going to get. I think that you thought that people were going to be upset. You had to have known. Girl, I don't know, guys, is not like, come on now. Girl has 92 subs. We saw how the shit went down during the Kylie Rodney situation. You knew exactly the reaction that you were going to get. I am not sympathetic to any of the backlash that you're, receiving. That I just truly hope that civilly you're sued. That's it. Because I would do the same. You knew what you were doing. You knew the back. You knew what you were doing. You knew what you were doing. Come on now. She knew. You did. So for those of you that continue to watch that content, ask yourselves, today is Gannon. You subs are probably next, or creators. It's no different. Yes. Y'all do me a favor and drop some blue hearts for Gannon. And, I really, really hope that the family doesn't watch any of us YouTubers. Um, but if they do, if I could say one thing to the family, it would be I'm sorry. That's all. I'm sorry. That's it. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Not all creators are created equal, clearly. Um, I'm definitely going to watch my words now when I say, especially, going to social work school. One of the things that they teach you is you have to, like, people are experts of their lives, right? That's one thing you learn, right? So, like, if you're working with families, families are the experts of their own family. And that family, the Stout family, they're experts of their lives, the decisions that they make, what they do, right? So moving forward, I think one thing we have to do better is understand that those that are victims, we're not really supposed to lead or do extra shit. Allow families to lead you, allow victims to lead you to what it is that they want you to do. If you're truly wanting to help, and try to be a fly. You know what I'm saying? On the wall. And keep quiet. And if you find yourself talking too much, shut up and listen. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. You know? That's it. That's all. And I really want to thank, first of all, there's so many creators that I want to thank, because because it's like, listen, we don't always agree on every little aspect of everything, but I think it's amazing when we can get together and speak out and say that what is wrong. And even though, yes, no laws were broken, we were able to put aside that aspect and say, wait a minute, there's something wrong here. And maybe through legislation, maybe through whatever it is that we need to do, that we can actually come together and speak out about it, you know? And that was amazing to see. That if there's anything that would have been like, wow, okay, like all of this allowed us to see that something needs to be done about whether it's Colorado or some other state or your state for that matter. Because, like I said, it can happen to anybody. And that's what we don't want. We don't want these kinds of vultures to take someone's dignity away, re victimize victims. We don't need these kinds of vultures. We truly don't. Mm-mm. Shout out to Cinema Shogun, to the Glare, to Queen Bee. Shout out to Ikamel. Shout out to all the folks on Twitter. Oh my God, there's so many on Twitter. Shout out to Mystery Lawyer Maven. Shout out to her because, you know, she took extra steps to contact the appropriate people. Shout out to Science Girl. Shout out to, man, shout out to you all. Shout out to you guys all. Seriously. AF Pennington, thank you for all the, please those creators, because I don't know everyone, but if you know of a creator that spoke against this, please let me know. Put them in the chat, put their names in the chat. Shout out, shoot, even though I don't necessarily agree with this man, shout out to Dolly. Dolly even spoke against this. Shout out to him for doing the right thing. Thank you. Even though we don't always agree on every, you know, and I don't really cover him like that. Shout out to Jules of all trades, true crime. Thank you for speaking out. Who else? Who else? Shout out to Savage Media. Thank you. Okay, there's, even though you have the creators that do this bullshit and then the one or two simps that, you know, wait for the next fart to happen, there's enough creators that are like, nah, man, we don't get down like that. We got to do something. We have to say something. AF Pennington, thank you. Thank you. Nonsense, thank you. Oh my God, Burnt Toast, thank you. Fantastic Live, thank you, thank you, thank you. Deeds on the Street, thank you. Who else? Who else? Shout them out. Shout them out because we definitely need to know, like, put that out there. Crimes, lines, and lies. Thank you. Makeup Monster. Thank you. Kate does true crime. Yes. Chasing. Tracy Ann Chasing. Shout out to her. Look at you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Yes. Queen Bee. Science Girl, aka in Bloom. Shout out to those, and please put their names in the chat if they spoke out and said, "Nah, this is wrong." Wrong. Crimes and Fashions. Man, that lady looks awesome. Fantastic in a tube top, by the way. Shout out to her. I was watching. I was Menace to Sobriety. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know who Valoma is. Is that a creator? Tell me. Yes, look at this, man. Look at it. If out of all of this, Gannon is still bringing people together. Thank you. Unsupervised Mannix. Okay. Um, I'm looking to see what other Blank Screen. Thank you. Shout out to Blank Screen. The Glare, absolutely. Yo, shout out to the Glare. Yeah, I've never do I know her? I y'all send me a link to her at some point so I can go check. There's a lot of creators that I don't know. Mommy Ramblings. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Chico. Chico needs to do a video. Shout out to Chico. Yo, y'all go check Chico out. We gotta keep harassing her to do videos. Um did Crime Circus speak against this too? Please let me know. Any creator, yo. I mean, I saw Ikamel on Twitter. Shout out to him. True crime, Grizzly True Crime. She spoke out too. Thank you to her. Headlines and Headstones. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, did she? Miss Brandy Neal. Shout out to her. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Did Lamont at Large speak as well? That's crazy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So with all this crazy, it felt so overwhelming today. I'm telling you, I was like, oh my God, like it was one thing, but I was so good to hear people say, nah, we don't drink Kool-Aid, we don't simp. We're educated enough to, like, you know, have really good solid conversations with folks. We're willing. Six Up Media, thank you. Another great creator. Shout out to them. Shout out to all of them. Forgotten Whispers, another one that I heard speak on this as well. Shout out to her. Absolutely. Nunya. Shout out to Nunya. Did Nunya speak on this? Shout out to her. And if she didn't, now she'll have to. um, yeah. And shout out to every one of you guys in the chat. Okay? We just gotta do better. That's all. Oh yes, my bird toast definitely talked about it too. Who is this? LTF Alicia and Bitch Talks are creator too. I'm not familiar with them, but if they spoke against it, put their names in there. Thank you so much for anybody. Michelle After Dark and Michelle Walks. Did she speak again? Wow. Y'all see that? Y'all see how many creators have said, no, man, that's wrong. We as creators don't always get along. But we could definitely agree to this, that this was wrong. And we're nobody's simps. Regardless if the creator has over 90K, 120K, 3 million, like Mr. Ryan Upchurch, we're not simps. Mr. Gray Hughes, shout out to him. I usually stay in the bushes with Mr. Gray Hughes because, I like him, but I feel intimidated being in the chat because of all the knowledge that he brings. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Shout out to them if they spoke out. Thank you. Who else? There was somebody else that I missed. Hold up. Bash the Tragedy Pimps. Shout out to them too. It feels good to know that we can all agree on this. Tiger Talks, did they speak on it too? Shout out to them. Yes, thank you. Well, thank you, good Nanya. Um, yes, it is. It is. I mean, it's just a lot to consume. Um, did they? Okay, Sleuths and Smooth Criminals did. Okay, thank you. Shout out to them as well. Shout out to them as well. That's kind of where I'm at right now. And I hope that, we've all learned from this. And that we could figure how to move forward as well. And that we can continue to support each other, even though we're always kind of at the different, ends of true crime and whatnot. It's good when people come together and say, "Now this is unacceptable. We got to say something." Yeah, it's your legal right, but this is unacceptable. We got to say something. And if anything, I hope that this is a reminder that, even though we, this is not the way to do it, at least it brought us together, and at least we can agree that this re-victimizes families. Doing shit like this re-victimizes families. It's not okay to do that. Absolutely. I agree with you. I agree with you. Right. That's the thing. Who knew that her behavior in just disagreements with that? Like seriously. But I think that it let us know it's not okay. It's not okay. Of course not, because cowards don't. She's a coward. I'm sorry, you are. You are. She's a coward. And for those that support her, keep doing you. We're on opposite sides of the fence, so it works. Okay. No, it's never okay. Absolutely. That's what she did. And I was waiting for somebody to say that you completely re-victimized families. Completely. Completely. And shame on you for doing that. And I hope that they know that we're not all created the same, but shame on you for do that. And I hope that you um I hope that you learn from this, but you're not because you don't seem the type to really understand how your behavior can impact others. I think she has a bachelor's in psychology, which is a little cray cray to me. You would think that there'd be something that would be able to connect, but it doesn't. Girl, bye. No, she won't. No, she won't. But I hope that she gets sued. That's kind of where I'm at. Listen, absolutely, that's where I'm at. And I want to remember Gannon by his smile, um, by the things that the family has shared about him. That's how I want to remember him. That's how I am. I'm gonna head out because I gotta go tend to baby bunny. But I appreciate you guys. You guys, I would ask you guys to, you know, continue to do what you do. This was heavy. It was heavy for me. So log off if you have to. Yes, Sonic. Um, log off if you have to, because I felt like I was like, this is a lot. It's a lot going on, and it just, yeah, it just felt really heavy for me. I'm gonna head out. And I hope you guys have a great night. And I want to thank everybody for being here. And shout out to all those creators and more. Shout out to all the members, but especially shout out to you subscribers and shout out to everybody on Twitter and Facebook and everybody that came together and said, no, you don't get to do this. I will see you guys on the next one. I have to head out. You guys have a great night. Rabbits out.